Chapter 1: The Shifting Facade. Anya traced a gloved finger along the cold, damp brick of the alley wall. The buildings tilted at impossible angles here, a jumbled collage of architectural styles that shouldn't exist together, not in any sane city. But Veridia was far from sane. It was her home. Anything, Mac's voice, sharp and practical, cut through the near-constant hum of the city. Anya appreciated her presence, a grounding force in a place where the ground itself was never quite solid. Anya sighed, pulling her hand away from the brick. Faint resonance, a flicker. He was scared here, but it's muddled, like looking through shattered glass. Memory weaving wasn't an exact science, especially not in Veridia. The city's chaotic energies tended to scramble the echoes of the past. She was one of the only people who had the power to sort through the pieces and put them back together. That's why the police asked for her help. Mac grunted. Scared is a permanent condition in this district. Be specific. He saw something, someone he trusted. Anya closed her eyes, focusing on the fragmented memory clinging to the alley walls. A flash of a familiar face, a warm smile, a hand outstretched. But something was wrong, terribly wrong. A subtle distortion, a shift in the eyes. Mimic, Anya whispered, the word catching in her throat. The mimic men. Shape-shifting entities that preyed on Veridia's instability, replacing people with grotesque imitations. They were a plague on the city, a creeping horror that no one seemed able to stop. Confirmed? Mac asked, her tone serious. She pulled out her notepad and scribbled into it. Anya worked with the police department for years and she always took notes. She always followed through on cases. Not yet. The memory is too fractured, but the signs are there. The telltale dissonance. The way the smile doesn't quite reach the eyes. Anya opened her eyes, pulling a small device from her satchel. It was a memory amplifier, a piece of tech designed to boost the residual energies in a given area. It was experimental and often unpredictable, but it was her best hope of getting a clearer picture. She activated the amplifier, and a low hum filled the alleyway. The air shimmered, and the fragmented memories clinging to the walls began to coalesce. Images flickered, voices echoed, and the alley transformed into a ghost of its former self. She could see the man, a mid-level trader named Ben Carter, walking through the alley. He pauses when his friend James calls his name. James comes closer, smiling. The memory shimmered faster and faster, and then stopped when the fake smile distorted James's face. James, Anya said, her voice barely above a whisper. It was James. Max scribbled furiously. James Harkness, runs that little import shop on the promenade. He wasn't himself, Anya said, shaking her head. The mimic. It wasn't a perfect imitation. Something was off, just enough for Ben to hesitate. Hesitate long enough to get replaced, Mac finished grimly. All right, let's bring Harkness in for questioning. Careful, Anya warned. Mimics are masters of deception. He'll deny everything, and he'll be convincing. We need proof. Mac nodded. We'll find it, we always do. They left the alley and stepped out onto the promenade, a wide avenue lined with shops and cafes. The street was crowded, a chaotic mix of vendors hawking their wares, tourists snapping pictures, and locals going about their daily lives. Veridia was a city of layers, a city of secrets, and a city of constant change. Anya knew this city better than anyone. She grew up in the promenade with her dad. Anya glanced at the building across the street. The facade had shifted overnight. The warm colors from before were a dull shade of blue. It made her stomach churn, but she ignored it. Mac wouldn't even notice the difference. Harkness's shop is a few blocks down, Mac said, consulting her notepad. Let's move. As they walked, Anya scanned the faces in the crowd. Each smile, each gesture, each expression was scrutinized, examined for the subtle tells that might betray a mimic. Paranoia was a professional hazard in her line of work, but lately it felt more like a survival skill. They reached Harkness's import shop, a small, cluttered space filled with exotic goods from other realities. James Harkness stood behind the counter, beaming at a customer. He was a portly man with a jovial face and a booming laugh. He seemed harmless, but Anya knew better. "Mr. Harkness," Max said, flashing her badge, "we need to ask you a few questions." Harkness's smile faltered. "Questions about what?" "About Ben Carter," Max said, her voice firm. "He's been missing for a few days." Harkness's face clouded with concern. "Ben, missing? I hope he's all right. He's a good customer." "We think you may be the last person to see him," Max said, watching him closely. Harkness shifted uncomfortably. "I saw him a few days ago, yes. We chatted for a bit and then he left. I haven't seen him since." "Did anything seem unusual?" Anya asked, stepping forward. Harkness hesitated. "Unusual, not that I recall. He seemed a bit distracted, but other than that, no." Anya locked eyes with Harkness. She could see the flicker of deception in his gaze, the subtle tension in his jaw. He was lying. She was positive of it. "Mr. Harkness," she said, her voice soft but firm, "we know you're not being honest with us. Ben Carter trusted you. He considered you a friend. Don't betray that trust." Harkness's facade cracked. His smile vanished, and a look of cold calculation came into his eyes. "You have no proof," he said, his voice suddenly devoid of warmth. "You have nothing but suspicions." "We have enough to bring you in," Max said, reaching for her cuffs. "Don't," Harkness said, raising a hand. "You don't know what you're dealing with." "We know exactly what we're dealing with," Anya said, her voice hard. "A mimic, a parasite that steals lives and wears faces." Harkness laughed, a hollow, chilling sound. "You think you can stop us? We are everywhere. We are everyone." As he spoke, the shop around them began to shift. The walls warped, the shelves twisted, and the exotic goods on display transformed into grotesque parodies of their former selves. The air crackled with energy, and the world began to tilt. Veridia was changing, and it was changing around them. The mimics were getting stronger, and Anya had a sinking sensation that they were walking into a trap. Chapter 2: Echoes of Betrayal. The import shop contorted around them. Jars swelled into bulbous, pulsating sacs. Masks leered with grotesque, elongated teeth. The air grew thick with the metallic tang of blood. Anya gripped the memory amplifier, her knuckles white. The chaotic energy of Veridia amplified the mimic's power, warping reality to its will. Max swore, drawing her sidearm. "What is this, Harkness? A parlor trick?" This, the mimic in Harkness's skin sneered, its voice echoing strangely in the shifting space, is a taste of what's to come. Veridia will be ours, all of it. Anya glanced at Mac, noting the flicker of uncertainty in her eyes. Mac was a seasoned officer, not easily rattled, but even she seemed unnerved by the rapid disintegration of reality. "We need to get out of here," Anya yelled over the rising cacophony. "This place is unstable." They backed towards the entrance, but the doorway had vanished, replaced by a wall of writhing tentacles. The mimic laughed, a sound that scraped against Anya's sanity. "Nowhere to run. You're trapped." Mac fired her weapon, the shots echoing uselessly in the warped space. The bullets seemed to bend and dissipate before reaching their target. "Anya, do something. Your memory thingy." Anya hesitated. The amplifier was designed to strengthen memories, not to fight shape-shifting monsters, but she was running out of options. She cranked the device to its maximum setting, ignoring the warning sirens that blared from its casing. "Hold on," she shouted. A wave of energy surged from the amplifier, washing over the shop. The shifting walls flickered, the grotesque objects shimmered, and the mimic recoiled, clutching its head. "What are you doing?" it hissed. "Stop it." The amplifier was overloading, the air crackling with raw power. Anya focused her will, trying to channel the energy, to force the mimic to reveal its true form. She needed to see past the illusion, to expose the parasite beneath. Images flooded her mind, fragmented memories of Ben Carter's last moments. The mimic's subtle flaws, the chilling emptiness behind its eyes, the way it savored Ben's fear. And then a glimpse of the mimic's true form, a mass of shifting, oily flesh with too many eyes, too many mouths. Anya gasped, recoiling from the vision. The mimic seized the opportunity, lunging towards her with unnatural speed. It slammed into her, knocking the amplifier from her grasp. The device clattered to the floor, sparking and sputtering. Anya hit the ground hard, the air driven from her lungs. The mimic loomed over her, its face contorting into a grotesque parody of James Harkness. "You can't stop us," it growled. "We are inevitable." Before the mimic could strike, Mac tackled it from behind, sending them both crashing into a shelf. Jars shattered, releasing a cloud of pungent fumes. The mimic roared, thrashing wildly. Anya scrambled to her feet, retrieving the memory amplifier. It was damaged, but still functional. She needed to find a way to use it, to turn the city's chaotic energies against the mimic. She glanced around the shop, her mind racing. The shifting walls, the warped objects, the echoes of Ben Carter's fear. It was all connected, a tapestry of distorted memories woven by the mimic's power. And then she saw it, a mirror hanging crookedly on the wall. A simple object, but in this twisted space, it was a potential weapon. Anya grabbed the mirror and positioned it carefully, reflecting the amplifier's energy back towards the mimic. The beam of energy hit the mimic, and the reflection doubled, trebled, multiplied exponentially, creating a chaotic feedback loop. The mimic screamed, its body convulsing. The shop shook violently, and the shifting walls began to crumble. The illusion was breaking. The mimic could not longer contain all the memories contained inside the walls and jars. "Mac, get out," Anya shouted. "Now." Mac didn't need to be told twice. She grabbed Anya's arm and dragged her towards the collapsing entrance. They stumbled out of the shop just as the entire building imploded in on itself, a cloud of dust and debris erupting into the street. Anya coughed, spitting out grit. The import shop was gone, reduced to a pile of rubble. The mimic was gone too, presumably destroyed by the feedback loop. But she knew it wasn't over. They never really are. "You all right?" Mac asked, helping her to her feet. Anya nodded, brushing the dust from her clothes. "I'm fine, but the mimic, it was stronger than the others, more powerful." "It's gone," Mac said, her voice reassuring. "That's what matters." "No," Anya said, shaking her head. "It was testing us, seeing what we could do, preparing for something bigger." She gazed at the faces in the crowd, searching for the telltale signs of a mimic. The subtle flaws, the chilling emptiness. They were everywhere. They are everyone. "They're planning something," Anya said, her voice low. "Something big, and we need to find out what it is." As they walked away from the wreckage, Anya couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The eyes of the mimic men were upon them, and the shifting city of Veridia was holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable storm to break. Chapter 3: The Weaver's Threads. The rain started as they reached Anya's apartment, a relentless downpour that seemed to seep into the very bones of the city. The building was old, its facade scarred by countless shifts and alterations. It leaned precariously against its neighbors, as if unsure whether to stand or collapse. Anya's apartment was on the 5th floor, a cramped space filled with books, maps, and strange artifacts she'd collected over the years. The air smelled faintly of ozone and old paper. "I'll file the report," Max said, shaking the rain from her coat. "Get some rest, Anya, you earned it." "I can't," Anya said, packing the small room. "The mimic mentioned something. Veridia will be ours." That wasn't just a threat. It was a statement of intent. "Intent that's been stopped," Mac replied, trying to calm Anya down. "No, something is wrong. We need to find answers. We need to find the Weaver." Anya responded, agitated. Mac sighed. "The Weaver? You sure? Every time we go to that informant, we end up in a dangerous scenario." "Yes," Anya said firmly. "The Weaver knows things, things nobody else does. If anyone knows what the mimics are planning, it's them." The Weaver was a mysterious figure who moved through Veridia's shadows, trading in secrets and information. They communicated with Anya through cryptic messages left in specific locations, locations that shifted and changed with the city itself. "All right," Max said, conceding, "but I'm coming with you. I'm not letting you wander into another trap alone." Anya nodded, grateful for Mac's support. The message. It should be at the clockwork fountain in the old quarter, but the fountain probably isn't there anymore. It rarely stays in one place for long. They left the apartment and headed into the rain-slicked streets. The old quarter was a labyrinth of narrow alleyways and crumbling buildings, a place where the past clung to the present like a persistent ghost. The shifting energies were stronger here, making navigation difficult even for Anya. As they walked, Anya consulted a tattered map of the old quarter, a map that was constantly being updated and revised. The clockwork fountain. It tends to gravitate towards areas of high temporal disturbance, she said, tracing a finger along a network of lines, which means it could be anywhere. They turned down a particularly dark and narrow alleyway, the buildings looming over them like skeletal giants. The air was thick with the smell of decay and desperation. "This place gives me the creeps," Max said, her hand resting on her sidearm. "I don't like it." "Just keep your eyes open," Anya said, her senses on high alert. Suddenly the alleyway shifted. The buildings twisted, the ground buckled, and a swirling vortex of energy opened up before them. Anya stumbled, grabbing onto Mac for support. "What the?" Mac swore, staring at the vortex in disbelief. "A temporal anomaly," Anya said, her voice tight. "The clockwork fountain must be nearby." They cautiously approached the vortex, peering into its swirling depths. Images flickered within the vortex, glimpses of different times, different realities. Anya could see the clockwork fountain in various states of disrepair, in various locations throughout history. "We have to go through," Anya said, steeling herself. "The Weaver is waiting." "Are you insane?" Mac exclaimed. "We could end up anywhere, in any time." "We don't have a choice," Anya said, her voice firm. "The mimics are planning something big. We need answers, and the Weaver is the only one who can give them to us." Without waiting for a response, Anya stepped into the vortex. Mac hesitated for a moment, then followed, her expression a mixture of apprehension and resignation. The vortex closed behind them, plunging them into a chaotic swirl of time and space. Images flashed before their eyes, sounds bombarded their ears, and their bodies felt as if they were being stretched and compressed simultaneously. And then, just as suddenly as it began, it stopped. Anya and Mac found themselves standing in a small, cobblestone square. The clockwork fountain stood in the center, its intricate gears and mechanisms whirring and clicking. The fountain was old and weathered, but still functional, water gurgling from its many spouts. A figure stood beside the fountain, cloaked and hooded, their face obscured by shadows. The Weaver. "You came," the Weaver said, their voice a raspy whisper. "We need information," Anya said, her voice urgent. "The mimics, they're planning something big." The Weaver nodded slowly. "They always are, but this time it is different. This time they are reaching for something they should not touch." "What is it?" Mac asked, her hand still on her sidearm. The Weaver hesitated, as if reluctant to speak the words. "They seek to control the Nexus." Anya felt a chill run down her spine. The Nexus was the source of Veridia's chaotic energy, the point where all realities converged. It was the heart of the city, and the key to its instability. "Control the Nexus?" Anya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "But that's impossible. No one can control the Nexus." "The mimics believe they can," the Weaver said. "They have found a way to amplify their power to tap into the Nexus's energies. If they succeed, Veridia will be lost, consumed." "Lost how? Consumed by what?" Mac asked. The Weaver hesitated. "They are not alone," the Weaver said. "They have allies, beings from other realities, beings that hunger for chaos and destruction. Who are they? Anya asked. The Weaver shook their head. I do not know their names, but I have seen their faces, twisted, grotesque faces, faces that reflect the darkness in their hearts. We need to stop them, Max said, her voice determined. But how? We're just two people. You are not alone, the Weaver said, their voice gaining strength. There are others who oppose the mimics, others who will fight to protect Veridia. Who? Anya asked. Where are they? They are scattered, hidden, the Weaver said. But they are watching, waiting. They will come when the time is right. The Weaver reached into their cloak and pulled out a small object. It was a shard of crystal, pulsing with a faint light. Take this, they said, handing it to Anya. It will guide you. It will lead you to those who can help. Anya took the crystal, feeling its energy flow through her. Thank you, she said, her voice sincere. Be careful, the Weaver said, their voice fatting. The mimics are watching. They know you are a threat. They will try to stop you. The Weaver turned and disappeared into the shadows, vanishing as quickly as they had appeared. Anya looked at Mac, her expression grim. We have a long road ahead of us. Tell me about it, Mac said, sighing. So what now? We chase after these others. This crystal will guide us too. That crystal will guide us, Anya responded. We have to find the source of the mimic's power, to find a way to sever their connection to the Nexus. Otherwise, Veridia is doomed. Chapter 4: Whispers of Rebellion. Anya clutched the crystal shard, its faint pulsations a steady rhythm against her palm. The rain had stopped, leaving the cobblestone streets slick and reflecting the flickering gaslights. The air hung heavy with the scent of damp stone and something else, something metallic and faintly unsettling. The memory of the Weaver's warnings echoed in her mind. They seek to control the Nexus. They have allies, beings that hunger for chaos and destruction. So where does your magic rock want to take us? Mac asked, her voice laced with skepticism but her eyes sharp, scanning the surroundings. Anya focused on the crystal. Its light seemed to intensify, pulling her towards a narrow alleyway she hadn't noticed before. Down there, she said, pointing. That alley, I don't recognize it. Mac raised an eyebrow. In Veridia, that's saying something. You usually know every crack in every wall. Anya shrugged. The city is always changing, but this feels different, like it's deliberately hiding. They entered the alley, the cobblestones giving way to uneven flagstones. The buildings pressed in on either side, blocking out most of the light. The air grew colder, and a faint whispering sound seemed to emanate from the walls. Hear that? Mac asked, her hand instinctively moving towards her weapon. Whispers, Anya confirmed. Residual memories. This place is saturated with them. Something happened here. As they moved deeper into the alley, the whispers grew louder, coalescing into fragments of voices, snippets of conversations. Anya strained to decipher them, to make sense of the chaotic jumble of sounds. I can't let them. A nexus is too dangerous. I must resist. As for Veridia, Anya stopped, her heart pounding. This is it, she said. This is where the crystal is leading us. The alley opened into a small courtyard, hidden from the main street. In the center of the courtyard stood a dilapidated building, its windows boarded up, its facade crumbling. A single flickering light shone from beneath one of the boarded windows. "Looks abandoned," Max said, her voice wary. "You sure this is the right place?" Anya consulted the crystal. Its light was now a steady, unwavering beam pointing directly at the building. "Yes," she said, "this is it." They approached the building cautiously, their footsteps echoing in the silence. Mac tried the door, but it was locked. She was preparing to kick the door down, but Anya touched her shoulder. Anya reached out and touched the door, focusing her mind on the fragmented memories swirling around them. She could feel the echoes of resistance, the whispers of defiance. The door clicked open. They entered the building, stepping into a dimly lit room filled with mismatched furniture and stacks of books and papers. The air was thick with the smell of dust and stale coffee. Several people sat around a large table, their faces illuminated by the flickering light of a gas lamp. They looked up as Anya and Mac entered, their expressions a mixture of surprise and suspicion. "Who are you?" a woman with short, cropped hair asked, her voice sharp. "We're looking for help," Anya said, holding up the crystal. "The Weaver sent us." The woman's eyes widened as she saw the crystal. "The Weaver? Why?" "The mimics," Max said, stepping forward. "They're planning something big, something to do with the Nexus. We need to stop them." A murmur went through the room. The people around the table exchanged glances, their faces grim. "We know about the mimics," the woman said. "We've been fighting them for years." "Who are you?" Anya asked. "We are the remnants," the woman said. "Those who remember, those who resist." "Remember what?" Mac asked, her brow furrowed. "The truth," a man with a long, gray beard said, his voice raspy. "The truth about Veridia, about its origins, about its purpose." "What are you talking about?" Anya asked, her confusion growing. "Veridia is not a natural city," the woman said. "It was created, a nexus point between realities, a prison for something far more dangerous than the mimics." "A prison?" Anya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "For what?" The woman hesitated, as if reluctant to speak the words. "For the void," she said. "The nothingness that exists between realities, a place of pure chaos and destruction." "And the mimics?" Mac asked. "The mimics are not native to Veridia," the woman said. "They are emissaries of the void, sent to weaken the barriers between realities, to prepare the way for its arrival." Anya felt a chill run down her spine. The Weaver's warnings suddenly made sense. The mimics weren't just trying to control Veridia, they were trying to destroy it. "We have to stop them," Anya said, her voice filled with determination. "We have to protect the Nexus." "We will," the woman said. "But we need your help. You have a gift, Anya, the ability to see the memories of the city. We need you to use that gift to find the source of the mimics' power, to find their allies." "I'll do whatever I can," Anya said. "Good," the woman said, "because time is running out. The mimics are growing stronger. The void is drawing closer. If we fail, Veridia will be consumed, and with it countless other realities." The woman gestured to a map of Veridia that hung on the wall. It was a detailed map, but it was also covered with strange symbols and markings. "This is a map of the ley lines that run through Veridia," she said. "The mimics are using these ley lines to amplify their power, to draw energy from the nexus. We need to disrupt these ley lines," the man with the gray beard said, "to sever the mimic's connection to the nexus." "How do we do that?" Mac asked. "There are certain points along the ley lines where the energy is concentrated," the woman said. "These points are known as nodes. If we can disrupt the nodes, we can weaken the mimic's power." "But the mimics will be guarding these nodes," Anya said. "They won't let us disrupt them easily." "We know," the woman said, "but we have a plan to strike at the heart of the mimic's power." "What is it?" Anya asked. The woman smiled, a grim smile that sent a shiver down Anya's spine. "We're going to show them what it means to truly remember." Chapter 5: The Haunting of District 6. The Remnant's plan, as it unfolded in the cramped, candle-lit room, was audacious, reckless, and possibly the only chance Veridia had. They intended to use Anya's memory-weaving abilities to overload the Mimic's communication network, a network that tapped into the city's ley lines and allowed them to coordinate their activities across the city. The plan hinged on a forgotten district of Veridia, known as District 6. "District 6?" Anya asked, frowning at the marked map. "I've never heard of it, and I've lived in Veridia for decades." "That's because District 6 was erased," the woman who introduced herself as Alara explained. "Decades ago, a catastrophic shift occurred. The district was destabilized, deemed too dangerous to maintain. It was quarantined, its memories suppressed." "Suppressed by whom?" Mac asked, her voice laced with suspicion. Alara exchanged a glance with the gray-bearded man, Silas. "By the architects," Silas answered. "The original creators of Veridia. They had the power to manipulate reality, to erase entire sections of the city from existence." "The architects," Anya pressed. "I thought they were just a myth." "They were very real," Alara confirmed. "But they disappeared long ago, leaving Veridia to fend for itself. And now the mimics are exploiting their absence." "So what's so special about District 6? Mac inquired, cutting to the chase. "District 6 was a hub of creativity, a center for the arts and sciences," Silas responded. "It was also a place of intense emotions, of great joy and great sorrow. Those emotions left a powerful imprint on the fabric of reality. The mimics are using that emotional energy to amplify their communications," Alara explained, "to create a kind of psychic echo chamber. If we can disrupt that echo chamber, we can disrupt their entire network." "But how do we get to District 6 if it was erased?" Anya asked. "There are hidden pathways, forgotten tunnels," Alara replied. "We have a guide who knows the way. He's waiting for us at the edge of the quarantine zone." The guide turned out to be a wiry, nervous man named Finn. He wore goggles pushed up onto his forehead and carried a satchel filled with strange tools and gadgets. He greeted them with a frantic energy, muttering about temporal distortions and reality fluctuations. All right, let's go," Finn urged, gesturing impatiently towards a crumbling wall. No time to lose, the veil is thinning, the mimics are getting wise. He led them through a series of twisting alleyways, past boarded-up buildings and discarded machinery. The air grew heavy with a sense of unease, the whispers of the city growing louder, more insistent. "This is it," Finn said, stopping before a section of the wall that seemed slightly out of sync with its surroundings. "The entrance to the quarantine zone. Hold tight, it's going to be a bumpy ride." He fiddled with a device in his satchel, a device that emitted a high-pitched whine. The wall shimmered, and a doorway appeared, revealing a dark, narrow passage. "After you," Finn said, gesturing them through. Anya and Mac exchanged a glance and stepped into the passage. The walls solidified behind them, sealing them in darkness. "Finn," Anya called out. "Just a sec, just a sec." Finn's voice echoed from the other side of the wall. "Gotta recalibrate the trans-dimensional resonator. Wouldn't want you to end up in the Cretaceous period, now would we?" Anya sighed and pulled out a flashlight, illuminating the passage. It was damp and claustrophobic, the walls covered with grime and strange, glowing fungi. "Remind me again why we trust this guy," Mac muttered, her voice laced with irritation. "He's the only one who knows how to get to District 6, Anya replied. "Besides, he seems harmless enough." As they moved deeper into the passage, the temperature began to drop, and the air grew thick with a sense of oppressive dread. The whispers of the city intensified, swirling around them like a chorus of lost souls. "This place is giving me the creeps," Max said, her hand resting on her weapon. "I don't like it." Anya could understand the feeling. There were more to these tunnels than just dirt and grime. The echoes of District 6 felt more real, more raw. The memories of the trauma that had happened here seemed to seep out of the walls. They reached a large chamber, its ceiling lost in darkness. In the center of the chamber stood a towering structure, a twisted mass of metal and wires that hummed with an eerie energy. "What is that thing?" Mac asked, her voice hushed. "A memory conduit," Finn said, emerging from the passage behind them. "It was used to amplify and broadcast the emotions of District 6. The mimics are using it to tap into the city's ley lines." "So how do we disrupt it?" Anya asked. "We overload it," Finn replied. "We flood it with so much emotional energy that it breaks down." "And how do we do that?" Mac asked, her brow furrowed. "That's where you come in, Anya," Finn said, turning to her. "You're a memory weaver. You can tap into the emotions of the city. We need you to channel those emotions into the conduit, to amplify them until it reaches critical mass." Anya hesitated. She wasn't sure if she could do it. The emotions of District 6 were so intense, so raw. She was afraid of being overwhelmed, of losing herself in the chaos. "I don't know," she began. "You have to try," Alara said, stepping forward. "Veridia is counting on you." Anya took a deep breath and closed her eyes. She reached out with her mind, feeling for the echoes of District 6. The emotions surged into her, a torrent of joy, sorrow, anger, and fear. She gasped, staggering back from the intensity. "Easy, easy," Finn said, steadying her. "Just focus on one emotion at a time. Start with the strongest, the sorrow." Anya concentrated on the sorrow, on the memories of loss and despair. She channeled that emotion into the conduit, feeling the machine vibrate with increasing intensity. The whispers in the chamber grew louder, more insistent. The walls began to shake, and the air crackled with energy. Anya felt herself being pulled deeper and deeper into the vortex of emotions, losing herself in the memories of District 6. "Anya, stop," Mac called out, her voice filled with concern. "You're going too far." But Anya couldn't stop. She was too far gone, lost in the echoes of the past. She had to keep going, had to overload the conduit, had to save Veridia. Suddenly a figure appeared before her, a figure shrouded in darkness. It reached out, its touch cold and clammy. "Give in," the figure whispered. "Embrace the void, let the chaos consume you." Anya recognized the figure. It was the mimic, the one from the import shop. It had survived the explosion, and now it was here, trying to corrupt her, to turn her against Veridia. "No," Anya cried out, breaking free from the mimic's grasp. "I won't let you." She focused all her will, all her energy, on the conduit. She channeled the emotions of District 6, amplifying them to their breaking point. The conduit screamed, a deafening shriek that echoed through the chamber. The machine began to glow, its metal and wires melting, contorting, collapsing into a twisted mass of ruins. The building shuddered as the machine became no more. Then silence. Anya collapsed to the floor, exhausted and drained. The whispers of the city faded, replaced by a sense of profound emptiness. "Anya," Mac cried, rushing to her side. "Are you all right?" Anya nodded weakly. "It's done," she whispered. "The conduit, it's destroyed." Finn clapped his hands together, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "Yes, yes, wonderful. You did it, you did it. The Mimic's communication network is shattered." Alara approached Anya, her expression filled with gratitude. "You saved us," she said. "You saved Veridia." Anya smiled, a weary smile. "Not yet," she said. "There's still more to do. The Mimics. They're not going to give up easily." As they left the chamber, Anya glanced back at the twisted ruins of the memory conduit. She could still feel the echoes of District 6, the lingering emotions of a lost and forgotten place. She knew that those memories would stay with her forever, a reminder of the sacrifices that had to be made to protect Veridia. The question was if that sacrifice was worth it. She knew what was coming next, and she didn't think that she could live with what she has to do. Chapter 6: The Serpent's Coil. The remnants celebrated their victory in their hidden sanctuary, a muted affair fueled by strong, bitter coffee and a shared sense of grim determination. The destruction of the memory conduit had dealt a significant blow to the Mimic's communication network, but it was only a temporary setback. Anya knew the Mimics were adaptable, resourceful. They would find another way to coordinate their forces. "So what now?" Mac asked, leaning against a bookshelf. "We know they are going for the Nexus. How do we stop them?" Ilara spread a map of Veridia on the table, tracing a finger along a network of ley lines. "The Mimics are converging on a specific point," she said. "The Serpent's Coil. It's a cluster of interconnected ley lines located beneath the Grand Bazaar." "The Grand Bazaar," Anya asked, frowning. That's one of the most heavily populated areas of the city. If the mimics are planning something there, it will be a bloodbath, Silas finished grimly. They will exploit the chaos, the confusion. They will spread their influence like a disease. We have to stop them, Max said, her voice firm. But how? We can't just storm the Grand Bazaar. There are too many civilians. We need a plan, Alara said. A way to disrupt the mimics' ritual without endangering innocent lives. Anya closed her eyes, focusing her mind on the ley lines beneath the Grand Bazaar. She could feel the energy swirling, building, intensifying. Something was about to happen, something terrible. There's a hidden chamber beneath the bazaar, Anya said, her voice barely above a whisper. A chamber that connects directly to the nexus. The mimics are planning to use that chamber to amplify their power, to open a gateway to something. The void, Silas said, his voice heavy. We have to get to that chamber, Max said, before they do. But how? Alara asked. The bazaar is heavily guarded. The mimics will be expecting us. We need a distraction, Anya said. Something to draw their attention away from the hidden chamber. Finn, who had been tinkering with a device in the corner of the room, looked up, his eyes gleaming. A distraction, you say? I might have just the thing. He held up a small, metallic sphere that hummed with energy. A temporal disruptor. It can create localized distortions in time, causing chaos and confusion. It won't last long, but it should be enough to buy us some time. Where did you get that? Mac asked, her voice suspicious. Finn shrugged. Let's just say I have connections, and leave it at that. All right, Alara said. We'll use Finn's temporal disruptor to create a diversion at the main entrance of the bazaar. Anya, Mac, you'll use your knowledge of the city to infiltrate the hidden chamber. Silas and I will coordinate from here, providing you with support and information. And what about the civilians? Anya asked. We can't just leave them to fend for themselves. We'll issue a warning, Alara said. Encourage people to evacuate the bazaar, but we can't force them. Some will choose to stay. We can only hope that they will be safe. The plan was set. Anya felt a knot of dread tightening in her stomach. They were walking into a trap. She could feel it in her bones, but they had no choice. They had to try. Finn set off the temporal disruptor just outside the Grand Bazaar and then disappeared into an alley. Anya couldn't help but feel like Finn was just a little bit too comfortable with all of this, like he was enjoying the chaos. The Grand Bazaar was a sensory overload, a riot of colors, sounds, and smells. Vendors hawked their wares, tourists snapped pictures, and locals haggled over prices. The air was thick with the aroma of spices, perfumes, and exotic foods. Anya scanned the crowd, searching for the subtle signs of a mimic. A flicker in the eyes, a stiffness in the posture, a dissonance in the smile. "All right, where does this chamber start?" Mac asked. "I'm not sure," Anya responded. "But I know the ley lines intersect in that area, so it must be close." As they walked, Anya felt a strange pull, a sense of familiarity. She stopped before a small stall that sold antique maps and charts. The vendor, an elderly woman with piercing blue eyes, smiled at her. "Looking for something special, dear?" she asked. Anya hesitated. The woman's eyes seemed to bore into her soul. I don't know, she stammered. The woman reached beneath the counter and pulled out a tattered map. Perhaps this will help you find your way. Anya took the map, her fingers trembling. It was a map of the Grand Bazaar, but it was unlike any map she had ever seen. It showed the hidden passages, the secret chambers, the forgotten pathways that lay beneath the surface. "How did you get this?" Anya asked, her voice hushed. The woman smiled knowingly. "Let's just say I have a gift for seeing what others cannot." Anya realized that the woman was one of them, one of the remnants. "Thank you," Anya said, her voice sincere. The woman nodded. "Be careful, dear. The path ahead is fraught with peril." Anya and Mac continued their journey, following the map through a maze of crowded stalls and winding alleyways. They reached a seemingly dead end, a blank wall that offered no passage. "This is it?" Mac asked, her voice incredulous. "A dead end?" Anya studied the map, focusing on the intricate details. "There's a hidden door," she said, "disguised as a support beam. It just needs a little persuasion." Anya touched the wall, feeling for the subtle vibrations that would reveal the hidden mechanism. She pressed against a section of the wall and heard a faint click. The wall slid open, revealing a narrow passage. "Impressive," Max said, her voice admiring. "You're full of surprises, Anya." They stepped into the passage, the door closing silently behind them. The air grew cooler, and the noise of the Grand Bazaar faded away, replaced by an eerie silence. As they moved deeper into the passage, Anya felt a growing sense of unease. The ley lines were stronger here, pulsing with a malevolent energy. She could feel the presence of the mimics, their thoughts and intentions echoing in her mind. They reached a large chamber, its walls lined with strange symbols and markings. In the center of the chamber stood a raised platform, surrounded by a circle of hooded figures. The mimics. Anya and Mac exchanged a glance. This was it, the moment of truth. They had reached the hidden chamber. Now they had to stop the mimics before it was too late. The mimics looked up when the two women walked into the room. "We have been expecting you," the high priest said. The high priest was the most powerful member of this group. "I see you have brought a distraction from the outside. This should be fun." Chapter 7. The Nexus Beckons. The hooded figures turned, their faces obscured by shadows. The air crackled with energy, a palpable tension that sent shivers down Anya's spine. The chamber was larger than she'd anticipated, the walls adorned with grotesque carvings that seemed to writhe in the flickering torchlight. The raised platform in the center pulsed with a dark, ominous glow. "We have been expecting you," the lead mimic spoke, its voice a distorted echo that resonated through the chamber. It stepped forward, its hood falling back to reveal a face that was both familiar and alien. It was Sila's, the gray-bearded man from the remnants. Anya gasped. "Sila's, but you were helping us." "Helping you delay the inevitable," the mimic Silas sneered. "You remnants are so predictable, so sentimental, clinging to your memories, your pathetic little rebellion. It's all so tiresome." Max swore, drawing her sidearm. "You son of a... I should have known. You were always too eager to spout about the architects and the void. Sentiment, Mimic Silas responded, not impressed with their anger. An unfortunate flaw, as humans are easy to take over if they are too attached to their emotions. Anya felt a wave of betrayal wash over her. Silas had been a trusted member of the remnants, a voice of reason and experience. To discover that he was a mimic was a crushing blow. "Why, Silas?" Anya asked, her voice filled with pain. "Why are you doing this?" "Because the void offers what Veridia never could," Mimic Silas replied. "Release. Freedom from the endless cycle of shifting and change. An end to the pain, the suffering, the memories." "An end to everything," Anya countered. "You're willing to destroy everything for your own twisted sense of peace." "What is there to lose?" Mimic Silas asked. "The world is doomed. Let it burn." "I won't let you," Anya declared, her voice hardening. "I won't let you destroy Veridia." "Brave words," Mimic Silas mocked. "But you are powerless. You cannot stop what is coming." It gestured towards the platform, where the remaining mimics were chanting in a guttural language. The platform pulsed with increasing intensity, and a swirling vortex of dark energy began to form above it. "We are opening a gateway to the void," Mimic Silas explained. "A gateway that will consume Veridia and everything within it." "We have to stop them, Anya," Max said, firing her weapon. The bullet struck the chanting mimics, but they seemed to have little effect. The mimics were protected by some kind of energy field, a shimmering barrier that deflected the bullets harmlessly. "Futile," Mimic Silas said, shaking its head. "Your primitive weapons cannot harm us." Anya closed her eyes, focusing her mind on the ley lines that converged beneath the chamber. She could feel the raw, untamed power of the Nexus, the chaotic energy that sustained Veridia. "I can't beat them," Anya said. "I've never seen anything like it." "If we can sever their connection to the platform," Anya said, "we can disrupt the ritual." "How?" Mac asked, firing shots at the mimics but missing. "I don't know," Anya admitted, "but I have to try." She opened her eyes and fixed her gaze on the swirling vortex above the platform. She could feel the void calling to her, a tempting whisper of oblivion. But she resisted, focusing instead on the memories of Veridia, the people she loved, the city she had sworn to protect. She reached out with her mind, touching the ley lines, feeling their energy flow through her. She channeled her memories, her emotions, her determination into the ley lines, amplifying their power. The chamber began to shake, the walls trembling. The chanting of the mimics faltered, their energy field weakening. "What is she doing?" Mimic Silas snarled, its voice laced with alarm. "She's disrupting the ley lines," one of the mimics cried. "She's interfering with the ritual." Mimic Silas gestured to the remaining mimics. "Stop her, kill her." The mimics surged forward, their faces contorted with rage. Mac opened fire, taking down several of them, but there were too many. They overwhelmed her, knocking her to the ground. Anya watched in horror as the mimics closed in on Mac, their eyes filled with malice. She had to do something. She had to protect her friend. She focused all her energy on the vortex above the platform, channeling all her memories, all her emotions into the swirling mass of dark energy. The vortex pulsed with increasing intensity, growing larger, more chaotic. The chamber shook violently, the walls cracking and crumbling. Suddenly, the vortex exploded, releasing a wave of pure energy that swept through the chamber. The mimics were thrown back, their bodies dissolving into dust. The platform shattered, its dark energy dissipating. Anya collapsed to the floor, exhausted and drained. The chamber was silent, the air still and heavy. She looked over to Mac and she was getting up off the floor. She was hurt but okay. Mimic Silas, however, was still standing, its face contorted with rage. "You haven't won," it hissed, its voice barely audible. "The void will still come. It is inevitable." With a final surge of energy, Mimic Silas lunged forward, its hand outstretched. Anya was defenseless, too weak to move. "No," the human voice of Silas cried. He took control of the mind of the mimic and stabbed himself. Just as Mimic Silas lunged, a figure darted out from behind, stopping him in his tracks. It was Finn, holding a strange device that pulsed with energy. "Sorry I'm late," he said, grinning. "Had to make a few adjustments to my temporal disruptor. This should send you back to where you belong." Finn activated the device, and a beam of energy enveloped Mimic Silas. Its body began to shimmer, to fade, to unravel. "No," Mimic Silas screamed, its voice filled with terror. "I won't let you, I woe." Its voice faded, and its body vanished, leaving behind only a faint scent of ozone. Anya stared at the spot where Mimic Silas had stood, her heart pounding. It was over. They had stopped the mimics. They had saved Veridia. But at what cost? Finn just killed a person. She was just starting to get to know this city and everyone was dying. Chapter 8: The Echoing Silence. The silence in the chamber was deafening, broken only by the sound of Anya's ragged breathing and Mac's labored coughs. The air hung heavy with the scent of ozone and dust, a testament to the chaotic battle that had just transpired. The vortex was gone, the platform shattered, and the mimics were vanquished, but the weight of what had happened pressed down on Anya like a physical burden. Mac approached Anya, her face grim. "You all right?" she asked, extending a hand. Anya nodded, taking Mac's hand and pulling herself to her feet. "Yeah," she said, her voice hoarse. "I think so, you." "Banged up a bit," Mac replied, wincing as she touched her arm. "But nothing I can't handle." Finn, meanwhile, was tinkering with his device, his face alight with a manic energy. "Well, that was exciting, wasn't it?" he said, his voice a touch too cheerful for the somber atmosphere. "Temporal disruptions, interdimensional gateways, shape-shifting monsters. Just another day in Veridia." Anya glared at him, her anger simmering beneath the surface. "You killed him, Finn," she said, her voice low. "You killed Silas." Finn's smile faltered. "Well, yeah, but he was a mimic. He was going to destroy the city." "He was still a person," Anya insisted. "A person who was possessed, manipulated. He didn't deserve to die." "Easy, Anya," Max said, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Finn did what he had to do. He saved our lives." "I understand," Anya admitted. "But that doesn't make it right. Every time a mimic is killed, a person dies with them. It's just not fair." Finn looked away, his face etched with guilt. "I didn't want to kill him," he mumbled. "I just wanted to stop him. I didn't think it would." "It's done," Mac said, her voice firm. "We can't change what happened. We can only move forward." Anya sighed, knowing that Mac was right. They couldn't dwell on the past. They had to focus on the future, on what they could do to prevent another tragedy from happening. "What about Alara?" Anya asked. "We need to tell her about Sila's." Mac nodded. "Yeah, she deserves to know." They made their way back to the Remnant's sanctuary, the weight of their discovery heavy on their hearts. The city seemed quieter than usual, the energy drained. Maybe everyone felt the effects of what just happened. When they arrived at the sanctuary, they found Alara waiting for them, her face etched with worry. "What happened?" she asked, her voice urgent. "Is everything all right?" Anya and Mac exchanged a glance, knowing that this was going to be difficult. "We stopped the mimics," Anya said, her voice somber. "We closed the gateway." Alara sighed with relief. "Thank goodness," she said. "I was so worried, but what's wrong? Why do you both seem so grim?" "Sila's was a mimic," Mac said, cutting to the chase. "He was the one leading the ritual." Alara gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. "No," she whispered. "It can't be Sila's, but he was one of us." "I know," Anya said, her voice filled with sympathy. "It's hard to believe, but it's true." Alara shook her head, tears welling up in her eyes. "I don't understand," she said. "How could he betray us like that? How could he side with those monsters?" "He believed that the void was the only way to escape the pain and suffering of Veridia," Anya explained. "He thought that destroying the city would bring peace." Alara closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. "He was so wrong," she said, her voice choked with emotion. "There is still good in this city. There are still people worth saving." Anya reached out and took Alara's hand, offering her what comfort she could. "I know," she said, "and we're going to keep fighting for them. We're going to protect Veridia no matter what." The three women stared into the faces of each other to show appreciation for everything. Anya was still angry about everything that happened so soon. She wanted revenge, but she can't have it. Chapter 9: Shifting Alliances. Days turned into weeks. Veridia, as always, began to heal, its chaotic energy slowly reasserting itself. Buildings shifted, streets changed, and the memories of the Mimic's assault began to fade into the background hum of the city. But for Anya, the scars remained. The betrayal of Sila's, the loss of innocent lives, the constant threat of the void. It all weighed heavily on her soul. The remnants, too, were struggling to recover. The revelation that one of their own had been a mimic had shattered their trust, leaving them suspicious and divided. Alara, burdened by grief and guilt, withdrew into herself, spending hours poring over ancient texts and forgotten prophecies. Mac threw herself into her work, patrolling the streets with renewed vigor, determined to prevent another tragedy from occurring. And Finn simply disappeared, leaving behind a note that read, "I need some time to think." Anya spent her days wandering the city, seeking solace in its shifting streets and hidden corners. She visited the clockwork fountain, hoping to glean some wisdom from the Weaver, but they were nowhere to be found. She explored the ruins of District 6, searching for some clue, some sign of hope amidst the desolation. But all she found were echoes of loss and despair. One evening, as the sky bled into shades of violet and crimson, Anya found herself drawn to the grand bazaar. The bustling marketplace was quieter than usual, the vendors packing up their wares, the tourists heading back to their hotels. Anya wandered aimlessly through the stalls, her gaze drawn to a familiar shop. It was the antique map shop, the one run by the elderly woman who had given her the map of the hidden passages beneath the bazaar. Anya approached the shop, her heart pounding. She needed to talk to the woman to seek her guidance. But when she reached the shop, she found it deserted. The door was locked, the windows shuttered. Anya peered through a crack in the shutters, her heart sinking. The shop was empty, the shelves bare. It was as if the woman had vanished into thin air. As Anya turned to leave, she noticed something lying on the ground before the shop. It was a small, folded piece of paper. She picked it up, her fingers trembling. It was a message. "Meet me at the observatory," the message read. "Midnight, come alone." Anya's mind raced. The observatory was a crumbling tower on the outskirts of the city, a place of strange energies and forgotten knowledge. It was also a place of danger. She didn't know who had sent the message or what they wanted, but she knew she had to go. As promised, Anya went to the observatory at midnight. The observatory's silhouette was broken, its tower a jagged outline against the night sky. The building was crumbling, its stones weathered by centuries of neglect. A strange, humming energy permeated the air, making Anya's skin crawl. She entered the observatory, stepping into a vast, echoing chamber. Moonlight streamed through the broken windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. In the center of the chamber stood a lone figure, silhouetted against the night sky. "You came," the figure said, its voice low and mysterious. Anya stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Who are you?" she asked. "What do you want?" The figure turned, stepping into the moonlight. Anya gasped. It was Ilara. "Ilara?" Anya asked, her voice filled with surprise. "But what are you doing here?" "I needed to talk to you," Ilara said, her expression grim. "Alone." "About what?" Anya asked, her suspicion growing. "About the void," Ilara said. "About the true nature of Veridia." Anya frowned. "What do you mean?" "I've been studying the ancient texts," Ilara explained. "I've been searching for answers, for a way to stop the void from ever threatening Veridia again." "And what did you find?" Anya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I found the truth," Ilara said. "A truth that the architects tried to bury, a truth that the remnants have forgotten." "What truth?" Anya pressed, her anxiety building. Ilara took a deep breath, her eyes filled with a strange, unsettling light. "Veridia is not a prison for the void," she said. "It is a conduit, a gateway, a key." Anya stared at Ilara, her mind reeling. "A conduit," she stammered. "A gateway to what?" Ilara smiled, a chilling smile that sent a shiver down Anya's spine. "To infinite power," she said. "To ultimate control." "You don't mean—" Anya hesitated, fear constricting her. "I need help to make this dream come true," Ilara said. "Come join me, Anya, and we can save Veridia together." Anya was petrified. Ilara was out of her mind. Now Anya had to find some way to stop her. Chapter 10: Fractured Reflections. Anya recoiled, stumbling backward. "You're insane," she whispered, her voice trembling. "The void is a threat to everything. You can't control it." "I'm not trying to control the void, Anya," Ilara corrected, her voice eerily calm. "I'm trying to harness its power, to use it to reshape Veridia, to create a city free from the chaos and suffering that have plagued it for so long." "That's not possible," Anya protested. "The void is pure chaos. It will consume you, corrupt you." "I'm willing to take that risk," Ilara countered, her eyes gleaming with fervor. "For the sake of Veridia." "For your own sake," Anya spat back, her anger rising. "You're doing this for yourself, Ilara. You're letting grief and power blind you. All those lives, the trust we had, and you spit on it." Ilara's expression hardened. "You don't understand," she said. "You're too attached to the past, too bound by your memories. You can't see the bigger picture." "The bigger picture is that you're about to doom us all," Anya exclaimed. "We should try and heal. We cannot give into the void. You were the one who always said that." Ilara sighed, her face softening slightly. "I thought you would understand, Anya. You have the ability to feel the city's memories. You know how much pain and suffering it has endured." "And I also know how much good there is," Anya countered. "How much resilience, how much love. We can't let the darkness win." "The darkness has already won," Ilara said, her voice filled with despair. "Look around you, Anya. This city is crumbling, decaying. It's only a matter of time before it collapses entirely." "Then we fix it," Anya retorted. "We find a way to rebuild, to create a better future, but we can't do that by embracing the void." Ilara shook her head, her eyes filled with sadness. "I can see that I can't convince you," she said. "You've made your choice." "So have you," Anya replied, her voice hardening. Ilara raised her hands, and a swirling vortex of dark energy began to form around her. The air crackled with power, and the chamber grew colder, the shadows lengthening. "I'm sorry it has to be this way, Anya," Ilara said, her voice barely audible above the humming energy. "But I can't let you stand in my way." Anya steeled herself, knowing that she had to fight. She couldn't let Ilara unleash the void upon Veridia. She had to protect the city, even if it meant destroying her former friend. She reached out with her mind, touching the ley lines that ran through the observatory. She channeled her memories, her emotions, her determination into the ley lines, amplifying their power. The observatory began to shake, the walls trembling. The vortex of dark energy around Ilara pulsed with increasing intensity, and a swirling portal began to open above her. "I will not give in to you," Anya said. "I will protect this city." Ilara gestured, and a bolt of dark energy shot towards Anya. She dodged, narrowly avoiding the blast. The energy struck the wall behind her, leaving a gaping hole in the stone. "You can't stop me, Anya," Ilara cried, unleashing another blast of energy. Anya leaped and rolled, evading the attacks. She had to get closer to Ilara to disrupt her connection to the vortex. Anya jumped at Alara and punched her in the face with the crystal on her hand. The crystal did some damage, but Anya could not use it again. Alara was too powerful. Alara staggered backward, clutching her face. "You!" she gasped, her eyes filled with rage. Anya lunged forward, tackling Alara to the ground. They wrestled, grappling for control. Anya felt Alara's power pressing down on her, the cold, empty void threatening to overwhelm her. "I should have known you would be like this," Alara said. "But soon this city is over. I hope you are happy." With a surge of strength, Anya managed to break free from Alara's grasp. She scrambled to her feet and kicked her over the edge of the building. The portal in the sky closed and Anya was exhausted. She was covered in bruises, but otherwise fine. As the sun rose over the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the city, Anya walked away from the observatory, leaving behind the ruins of her friendship and the echoes of a broken dream. She knew the journey ahead would be long and difficult, but she also knew that she wasn't alone. She had the memories of Veridia, the resilience of its people, and the unwavering determination to protect it from whatever darkness might come. As long as she had those things, she would never give up. She looked toward the citizens and knew everything was going to be okay. The end.